Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to Breslov Research Web Seminar Parshat Naso. This week is a pretty full-packed week because Parshat Naso is at the end, the longest Parsha in the Torah, 176 Psukim. And in the middle, before we get there, we have Shavuot, Kabbalah HaTorah. And Naso always follows Shavuot. Midbar, which we had last week, always comes before Shavuot, always. So now we have to look at it. Why does Midbar come? The Gemara says, Monu va'otzru, count. The Jews are counted, even the Levium are counted in Parshas Midbar. And then you can make Atzeres, you can make Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot. What is the importance of having Bamidbar before Shavuot? Reb Nosson writes somewhere in the Kutei Halachos, I don't remember where, that every Jew counts. Every single Jew is important, and every single Jew has to be counted for in order for us to fully accept the Torah. Here's a cute thing. Rabbi Nachman teaches, we know the Torah tells us, do not speak Lashon Hara, do not speak slander. So how do you stop yourself from doing it? Rabbi Nachman suggests never speak bad about another Jew. Never say any word against another Jew. Why? There are 600,000 letters in the Torah. There are 600,000 root souls of all the Jewish nation. In other words, every Jew is rooted somewhere in the Torah. If you study Torah, so you're watching out, first of all, you're not speaking any bad things. But Rabbi Nachman takes it with a different spin. And he says, if you don't find fault in any Jew, then everything is beautiful. If every Jew is beautiful, the Torah itself is beautiful, because you're not finding fault in any Jew. You don't find fault in a Jew, you don't find fault in the Torah. You could find an approach to study Torah with a brand new outlook in life. And that's the importance of making every Jew count. Never speak bad about any other Jew. That's the question of Bamidbar leading up to Shavuot. And then we have Shavuot, the acceptance of Torah itself. The acceptance of Torah is such that without it, the Gemara says, Yom HaShishi, the sixth day. What is the sixth day? We say this every Friday night at Kiddush. What is the sixth day? Sixth day. There was 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, sixth day. Why does it say Hashishi? In Hebrew, the Hey is called the Hey Hayadiyah. To make known, it's a specific Shishi, a specific six. Which specific six is it? The sixth day of Sivan, when the Torah was given. The whole world was created so that the Jews should accept the Torah. Actually, all the nations should accept the Torah, but they rejected it. The Jews accepted it. So the world was created for the Jews who will accept the Torah. And that's a marvelous revelation as to what our goal is. We have to take the Torah and transform it into the means that the world was created for. What was the world created for? To recognize Hashem. Through the Torah, we could come to recognize Hashem. Whichever way we may be, whichever land we're on, whichever continent, whatever the place is, let us be with Hashem. So accepting the Torah on Shavuot, as it happened then, it happens now too. Just like then we receive the Torah, the Arizal explains that every Yontif is in a certain way, to a lesser degree, a continuation of the acceptance that we had then. Pesach, it's our exodus. Sukkot, we sit in the clouds of glory. Shavuot, we are accepting the Torah anew. A brand new Torah. Brand new, it's the same Torah, but we become fresh with it. We become new with it. So now we have Parshat Naso that's coming up after Shavuot, and Parshat Naso is sort of a continuation from Bamidbar. Parshat Naso tells us that first in Bamidbar, the children, the Leviim of the tribe of Kahat, were given their assignment in the Mishkan. In Naso, we have the assignments of the children of Gershon and Merari, how to carry the Mishkan, how to work it. And again, like we said last week, it has to do with every person being put in their place. Every person has to know their place, which is why we're all important. You have a whole building, 20 floors, 60 floors, 600,000 floors. What's the difference, right? What you have is if you don't have a stone in the foundation, it's missing. And if you don't have stones on the 4th floor, or the 8th floor, or the 50th floor, the building is missing. It's lacking. So it doesn't matter if you're on the 1st floor, or the 5th floor, or the 8th floor, or whatever it may be. That's not our issue. Our issue is I have to be where I am supposed to be. I have to be responsible. I have to take care of my immediate family. I have to oversee my non-immediate family. I have to be there for them. I don't have to do anything for them. I may not have to do anything, but I do have to have the ability to jump in and help where possible, right? That's why everyone has to know their place. Is your place to be there and help support? Go ahead and support. You help cook? Go cook. Do whatever it is that you can do, but be there ready to help the other person. That's the value what we're taught. Every person has their place so that you can jump in and help when necessary. Right? Many times we read stories of people, a car runs off the bridge into the water, people go down, people who are there. There's maybe 100 people around. 1 or 2 people are capable of jumping into the river to help the people in the car. And they do. And they do. Which is the way it should be. People should be there to help. That's the idea behind it. Naso also has a very interesting parsha at the end. Naso is where the presidents of the tribes brought certain sacrifices to the temple. They first brought certain presents. They brought a bunch of cows, oxen really. They brought oxen together with wagons, and they brought other kinds of sacrifices for the sanctuary when it was dedicated. The Medrash tells us something phenomenal. If you look in the Chumash, I believe it's chapter 7 in Bamidbar, it's chapter 7 in Naso. It's 89 verses that speak of the sacrifices of the presidents. Okay? 12 tribes. There are 6 verses for each tribe. And each tribe brought the exact same sacrifice. Each one brought the exact same sacrifice. But what's interesting, the Medrash says, Medrash Bamidbar Rabbah, it says that each tribe brought these sacrifices for the sake of its own tribe. Right? It brought the sacrifices. This one brought a certain amount of oxen and sheep and whatever. The other tribes brought the same thing. but each one who brought it symbolized something for their own tribe. So it doesn't really matter whether we do the same thing as somebody else. I mean, after all, if we're men, we get up in the morning, we put on talis and tefillin, like everybody else, right? But what I do is really what I have to do. That's something very important that we have to learn. We have to learn and understand that what we do has such an impact on all the people around us that it may be the same as everybody else, but you as an individual are really very different and you're very special. And what you're doing for the sake of the Jewish nation. May Hashem help us that we learn to accept the Shavuot and the Torah anew, with a new freshness, a fresh outlook, a fresh approach, and that we learn to be ourselves as individuals so that we're able to come closer to Hashem and help inspire others to do the right thing. And we should always find good health and happiness and success. Amen.